So here we have the turtle made and turtle approved base. The biggest thing about this being your armored center core, which has the TC inside of it, and the way you access it is through those drop boxes. This is kind of the layout of the base, what it kind of looks like, with honeycombs around the sides and a big entrance on the front, as well as roof exits, and a big shooting fort could be on top there if you didn't want the security as much. In here we have the shooting fort, boxes to keep any of your guns that you need up here, a window to look out on the ledge, and then here you have your front, which has a turret spot, which we'll talk about later, as well as these trap doors that kind of have twig and shotgun traps. From there you have a lot of garage doors to really protect this base. Definitely splashable. Tons of storage space, tons of boxes, as well as drop boxes, as you saw up top, and also kind of the couple front ones. You have all those. You have the ones right here. And then more storage down below with probably what you want to keep important. You also have your repair benches and stuff, your tier 3, your research table. Shotgun traps aren't necessary, but and then this is the TC area. You can see there's an in and out drop box so that you can put things in and take things out. Upkeep's not terrible. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Biggest upside of this is it takes a while to blow in through the top, which I've found lately is a big issue. And still have some decent defense from the doors and from the walls as far as how much it takes to get in. And this is kind of a fake wall with nothing, kind of a fake floor with nothing in it. And also you have a lot of little fake insides here where you have over the TC so that people can't blow directly into the TC. Um, as you can see here, you got the front with all the garages. So to go through the doors, it would be one rocket, three rockets, um, another three rockets at 7. You've got another 3 is 10, and then if they were to go, so 25 through the doors to get through TC, and they have to want to blow this, not thinking there's a door, or they go through the walls, you would have to do 4 for this wall, 8, 12, and then to get into here would be another 15, so it's about 27. To go through the roofs would be the worst, which is how I like it because I've found more people nowadays are trying to go through the roofs because I think people don't think about building for stability and strength on the roof. So if they were to go straight through the roof here, it'd be 4, and then here it'd be another 8 is 12, and then they're just into nothing at this point. This is just a buffer room. So then if they were to try to go again, that's 27, looking at 42 to go straight through the roofs to the TC, and because of the way it's set up, Splash might even be limited to the point where they're not even getting all the loot at 42 rockets. By far the best way would be doors, because it's, as I said, 1, 3, 4, 7, 10, and then if you were to blow this, it would be 25, and that would get you just into the TC pretty much. Wouldn't get you any other areas. You wouldn't get, you might be able to splash these doors to get into the second, but you wouldn't be able to get all this, and that just gets you TC. The greatest part is the upkeep here. This is really low. I mean, this is like 2 stone nodes, like 2 uh, metal nodes, and the high qual is like, depending on the servers you play, a lot of servers, it's pretty easy to find like 30 high qual in like 1 box or 2 boxes if you're running Dome or something like that. Um, yeah. So another additional thing is this front part. It looks weird, but because shotgun traps can shoot through thatch, it's actually a really good way to like trick people into coming in. If you want to use this as like sort of a pseudo trap base, you can kind of leave it how it is. I mean, it's very visible from the window, but if you wanted, you could put yourself a wall here, or you don't have to have the window there. You could also, if you were going to set this up for a turret, you could have here your doors and then close them and only have the turret doors open when you need to kind of open them. I'll just show you real quick what that would look like. You got that. So then they can't see in here, they just see this doors open and then just walk in, and then the shotgun traps blow them up. And they can't even go deep because there's nothing behind this. And they can't blow the garage. And then you can also have a turret in here. And what you can do is you can go in here, and if you look here, sorry, I put the door on wrong. Yeah, so if you look here, if you set the doors up like this, then you can come in here, and you'd have to be, these twig walls would have to be gone when you do it, but you can do this, and then stops people from door camping you. You can have a turret out there. You also have the windows here on the sides to look for anyone who's trying to camp. And if you do have these open, you of course have the window in the middle. The thatch, I imagine, is something you would be taking down and up a lot, whether you wanted to have it, trapping at the time, or whether you just wanted to use it as a window and also the ability to like see out here and open the turret. But yeah, that's about it. I call this the turtle design because it kind of looks like a turtle. You got like kind of a shell around your TC here, protecting it, keeping it safe. Then you got all the turtle legs just coming out here. A little bit more legs than a normal turtle, but you know, maybe it's more of a spider. And then you got the little head up here. Just two eyes, and its face, and its big mouth. Mouth being the turret that you put on the front. But yeah, it's a pretty cheap build. You're looking at like 25 rockets of defense through the best raid possible, and pretty low, like 4K metal, 4K stone, and 30 high qual. And this part up here, of course, you could probably change into a shooting for. And then if you wanted to metal that, it might be like 5 or 6K metal, but you could take heli from up here. The great part about this too is like if someone's door camping you, you can just walk out here and just shoot them. They may not notice. And if someone's door camping you up here, you can kind of see that they're doing that. And you can set up turrets and stuff like that to protect you in case you leave this door open and then they just get blown away if they come in. Also, if you wanted to, you could extend the shooting for here. So it's like this. You could put, because this would be like a shooting for, so you could have like windows here. And that would be kind of part of this inner thing here. This wall wouldn't be here, of course. And then you just have a little bit more view, kind of down or whatever. Also, you could have another exit like this if you wanted to have the ability to kind of jump out, ambush people. It's worth noting if they go through the roof here. Remember I said the roof's the strongest part. That's why I'm not worried about putting these doors here. You're talking one door, assuming they pick the right one here into the chute is 3. And then if they go down here and they pick the right door here, it's another 3. So you're looking at like 7 and then 10, and it's still 25. Whether you come through the front door or you come through this roof door and do the shoot shit and all that, it's 25. And if they do the shoot, you can have turrets in here, just like, in case they want to jump down, you got turrets and all that. So it would make it even worse to go through the roof. And like I said, if they're big boy rocket raiders. You can go through the roof with rockets just straight down. You're talking even more, like 50 or whatever I said, rockets to get down. So the best way is through the doors in this base, and most people kind of don't plan to go through doors. If you don't have garage doors, though, I don't suggest building this because the garage doors add a lot more protection for these areas. And if you don't have garage doors, it's really easy to get into the center here. And eventually, like these two here, you might want to change to like um, armored doors, and you can change the fronts to armored, and then it looks more intimidating, and people still might try to go through the sides then, and they'll find that it's a lot more costly. Another upgrade you could do if you're really worried about defense is upgrading these uh, honeycombs to metal. If you were to do that, you add 4 extra rockets to the raid, making it about 32, I think. Would be 8, 16, 31 if they were to go through the right honeycomb. You could even just, if you were worried, do the particular honeycombs that matter the most, like these two here and these two here, but that kind of tells people where your base is weak. Because if they raid through this honeycomb, like you have garage doors here that protect your honeycomb. But that's a suggestion for upgrading. This is a big base, gives you a lot of box space, gives you a very protected TC, which I've found over the time of playing now, it's really annoying with the TCs being taken over and the rest of the base still being left alone. Like that really what you need is to just protect your TC, and the weakest part of TCs is doors. So if you just make this high qual, then they can't just go through a door. They have to waste 15 rockets if they really want to go for your TC. There you got Battle Turtle. Big old Battle Turtle. So it's worth noting that on the sides, I realized that they can just blow into the um, foundation and go 8 rockets there and then 15 into the TC, which makes this more of a 23 rockets if they're going to go through that way. Um, One thing that you could do to update that would be to add extra foundations in the center so that they couldn't hit the foundations until they blew one foundation and then you have the same raid cost. Or alternatively is sinking the foundations into the ground, which I think would be the better approach. I had just tried to raise them because I wanted to see if it looked good. It doesn't really affect the way that the walls work. It's just they would all be shifted down one. So you'd have the same about protection, but you would have to shift which areas you had half walls or full walls and things like that. Just wanted to put that in because I did realize after putting this together that there is some possibility they would raid through a raised foundation and it would only be 8 plus 15, which would be 23. Yeah, 23 rockets. So just an update. I'll probably just sync the triangle foundations so that they were flush with the other foundations inside the base.